Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing, Joe?
What's going on, Charlie?
Not much, man. How was your week?
My week was pretty good, man. Hit meetings, hit the gym. I actually, I took somebody, of course the gym, bro. I was of service, bro. I brought somebody into detox, and it grounded me, man. It definitely took me back to when I first started this time.
Oh, really? Where'd you St. Charles?
St. Charles, and I got a call from him. He's in there. He's in the rehab upstairs. He's doing good, doing 28 days. Gonna go to a sober house, doing things he didn't do the last time.
That's awesome, man.
So, yeah, it's a good feeling, man.
Awesome. Yeah, my week was pretty... We didn't really talk, which was a fucking wonderful week for me.
Yeah. Take you in doses.
This week, as we were talking about last time, we have a special guest, John, my sponsor.
Special episode.
Awesome. So, John, welcome.
Welcome.
So, if you want to give us a little background on yourself, John, and see where how you got to where you are today with helping people out with this sobriety.
With where I'm at with helping people?
Oh, everything.
Well, where you started.
What about you? How'd you start? How'd you get into this?
When did you realize you had a problem and needed to, go into recovery? Let's start there.
I didn't realize I had a problem until I came into the rooms and tried to stop. That's really where it was for me.
Awesome.
My life was just the only thing I knew before coming into these rooms was that my life was unmanageable. That was the only thing I knew. Other than that, everything was fine. Yeah. It was good. Life's grand, isn't it? Look at everything going on. You got a house, you got the car, you got the wife, you got the kid. Look at it. Life is grand.
Yeah. But you still felt the hole, right? Like
Always.
Something was missing.
As long as I was, man, from a child, I always had that feeling of being alone. That feeling of I could be in a crowded room with 100 people, and I still felt alone. You'd be the guy. You would walk by a bar or something. You see everyone in there having a hearty guffaw. Everyone's partying and dancing. And you wanted to be a part of that, but you didn't know how to be a part of that. You just kind of. I'd be the guy that would go in there and start drinking, but I'd be the only guy in the corner by myself drinking. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like how to. I didn't know how to have relationships. I didn't know how to speak to people. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know that you could just walk up to someone and say, "Hey, how are you?"
I have a hard time believing you had trouble talking to people. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not kidding, bro. I was very once you put a drink or a drug in you, man, that's it. You're on a
different level.
It turned you into somebody like that Jekyll and Hyde. It turns you into somebody or something, and you kind of create a little reality for yourself. Like you make like a little world for yourself, and as long as you're in that world and you can control everything in that world, then it was okay, man. That's why we learn this program to do uncomfortable things. There's no
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still struggle with that.
Yeah, bro. You told me, hey, bro, come over here and we had a microphone and the thing was speaking. Yeah, all right, let's try that out.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, because I probably sound like a 5-year-old girl when I have the microphone.
No.
And it's funny because you sent me these. I think it's fantastic. First, I just think it needs to be spoken about more.
Yeah.
Recovery needs to be out there. We're flopping like flies, man.
Yeah.
We're just dropping.
Yeah.
And it needs to be spoken about. And I honestly, man, if I knew that there was this world of recovery years ago, maybe. I don't know, maybe. I got here when I got here, as my sponsor would told me. But I probably could use a little push.
Absolutely. Well, that's what me and Charlie said when we started this. We said it obviously helps me and him stay clean and sober. But if we could just have one person, one person. That's all that really what this is about.
Yeah.
So, John, so I find, and one of the reasons why I asked you to be my sponsor, like, for some reason, when you speak about recovery or helping others or whatnot, you're very powerful in your words. It's like, it's weird. I don't really listen to people. In the past, I didn't listen to people when it came to that. I had a sponsor once before. It was just like, yeah, whatever. This guy's a jerk off. But, I mean, he's a nice guy. I'm sorry if he's listening.
Sorry, Bob.
Just lost a
listener. The one follower is gone.
Shit. I just fucked out. All right. Yeah, but my point is, you're just very powerful. You're very passionate about what you talk about. and it's that's key. That helps a lot. Even, well, not to get into too much stuff, but like even when I bring a friend of mine with me to those meetings. Yeah. He's got a sponsor, and he's always like, "Man, I gotta listen to John when he says okay."
That's my spiritual advisor, bro.
Awesome.
So we know John and Charlie do AA. I'm on the dark side.
The dark side of the moon.
So we have a conflict going back
No
and
one
forth.
cares about NA, Joe.
Shut up. But what I will say is when they say, you want to hit your cliche button one day when we get that soundboard working, attraction, not promotion. That was the first thing I saw when I met this man. Attraction, not promotion.
I agree.
And if I was to do AA, 100% he'd be my sponsor. But I still use him as a sponsor, and I use him all the time, And when I've met all these guys, I stuck to them like glue because they're the ones that are doing it. They're the ones that are living it, and that's what it comes down to, Kind of like show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are. If you really want recovery, you stick with the winners. You stick with the people who are giving back, the people who are of service, the people who are doing it.
100%.
No,
I agree with that.
And I remember, bro, I was telling you about him, and I got to witness when you spoke.
You were getting mad at me.
When he spoke at our house, at that fire pit meeting on a Friday.
Yes.
Somebody was celebrating 2 years, and John started speaking, and I looked over at Charlie, and bro, you caught his soul. You caught this man, and I'm like, I'm getting chills thinking of it, and I'm like, dude, that's what I'm talking about.
I fucking asked you.
Like, ask the God, just fucking ask him.
I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it.
Well, it is an uncomfortable thing, right? It is like, we're grown men. It is kind of weird, like, hey, you want to be my sponsor?
It's still weird asking for help, even though that's what this is all about, obviously.
Yes.
But exactly, grown-ass man. Like, all right, relax.
Yeah, but
we've
that's
never
that,
asked
yeah,
for
that's
help.
that ego
That's
stupid shit you got to cut out, and just
I got this. I don't need to ask for help.
Yeah.
Directions. I know where I'm going.
Yeah, no, we don't, and that's the thing. Yeah. We need the people who came in before us to guide us,
exactly.
and you pay it forward,
That's it.
And that's how this works. That's why it's a fellowship.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
So, John, when you're sponsoring others, like, what is like personally your motivation of doing that?
My motivation.
Yeah.
Well, when I first came in here, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. But when I came in here, I was absolutely hopeless, and I found hope in these rooms. I really did. I saw people recover. I came across a couple of weeks of loitering in the program. I found a guy came and he spoke. He shared his experience, strength, and hope at a midnight meeting, which is why I chair the midnight meeting now. But that's
at
like
the
my favorite.
Bayshore.
Yeah, that's my meeting. Not my meeting, but it's my favorite meeting. It's our meeting.
Yeah.
But I just something inside of me. I saw this man telling my story. I finally got honest with myself. I saw this man telling my story as if I was to continue down the road I was going, 10 more years, that was me. That was me. Like, the wife, he did get the divorce. His kids were no longer speaking with him. Like, he was telling my story. I don't know how else to describe it. Mm-hmm. And he was happy, joyous, and free.
After all that.
Yeah, like he recovered. He told his backlog, where he came from and where he was at. But then he shared about, him today. And he had what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So you have what I want, do what I do. Mm-hmm. And it was that simple. I asked this man, I swallowed my pride. I asked this man to sponsor me. No hesitation, of course. He was like, he's like, oh, I'm only your sponsor if you call me.
That's weird.
That's weird. And I hung on to this man. Every word he said, everything he said to do, I did it. Mm-hmm. I did it without hesitation, because I want what he had. He just lit up a room. He walked in the room. He lit it up. He smiled. He was happy. He was just full of life. And I wanted that, man. That wasn't who I was, but that's who I wanted to be. Yeah. So, like I said before, man, you want what I have, do what I do. So I did what he did. And I stayed with that man up until the day he died, which was coming up on a year, Memorial Day.
Oh, Jesus.
But that man changed my life. That man showed me that it was okay for a man to fail. Mm-hmm. It was okay for a man to cry. It was okay for a man to ask for help. Mm-hmm. You know, and these are. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not know everything. You know, he brought me through word for word in that big book, which is where the solution is. At least for me, that's where I found my higher power. That's that the book tells you that I always point out two things in that book. In the foreword, where it says the main purpose of this book is to show you how we of Alcoholics Anonymous are 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. So there's the purpose, and then you'll read, and I believe it's on page 45 in When We Agnostics, I believe, where it talks about the main object of the book is to have you find a higher power that will solve your problem. So it's trying to get you in touch with that higher power. It's a spiritual program. It's not a religious program, though. You know, and they say happiness is found within. So, you gotta get right with God, man.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
100%.
So how long you been sponsoring people?
Well, a couple of years.
All right.
You know, as soon as what's funny is when I went through the book of my sponsor, he made me go through it quick. He said, the old timers used to say, you're supposed to go through the steps before the puke dries off your shirt. These guys, when they were first doing this thing, these guys were going into hospitals. They were bringing these guys through these steps.
Yeah.
Now, how long do you want to suffer, bro? Work. Yeah. The steps, it says in the book that we live by principles. And each step has a principle that we live by. So we're supposed to be taught how to live by these principles. And I don't know how to live.
Right.
And I say it all the time, like, my mother lives those 12 steps. My wife lives those. They're not alcoholics or addicts.
Yeah.
They think it's, that's normal. They don't play God.
Yeah.
They apologize when they're wrong.
Yeah.
They live honest. They live with loving one another.
Yeah.
That's just for some reason I was wired differently. I just don't think like that. So it really is just, hey John, if you're an alcoholic or an addict, you follow these principles and you're gonna have a good life. And that's how I take it.
Yeah, it really is, like they say, a simple program. We just love to complicate
Well, of course we do. Half of us are sitting there, am I an alcoholic? Am I an addict? Why am I like this? You know what? For me, I was like, that's just, I accepted it.
Yeah.
This is what I am.
Yeah.
You want to know if you're an alcoholic or an addict? Somebody told me one time, they were like, John, have you ever been to a Diabetics Anonymous meeting? I was like, no. But you've been to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's actually pretty.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I am. This is what I am. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not a loony bit. Like, I'm an alcoholic. That's just what I am.
Yeah.
And I've learned to accept that, and I learned to follow these simple rules.
Yeah.
And that's it. Life is great for me, man. I don't think it. Hey, listen. My grand sponsor always says if it gets any better, I'm ready, and if it gets any worse, I'm prepared.
It's fine.
And that's it, man. Like, are these extravagant promises? We think not. I am living a life beyond my wildest dreams, and it's not a cliche. Like, I legitimately am
I think
living
it
a
is.
life. You shut your mouth over there.
Shut up.
Yo, first of all, let me say it's funny. Joe flips me these what he's called a podcast. What do you call it?
Podcast. Yeah.
Bro, you got the voice for radio, bro.
Stop.
I'm just letting you know.
Time.
I hear him like, yeah, that's my dude on there. Yo, he's got that voice, bro.
Yeah.
He's got that voice.
Thank you. I don't know if that's the case, but that's all right.
It is.
I didn't say
I
Just
can't even
accept
listen.
it.
I don't listen to these.
I don't
know if you do.
No.
Yeah.
I just put
I don't
it
think
on
a
and go,
lot
all
of
right,
people
hopefully
make
it's good.
podcasts. I don't really think they listen to them.
I mean,
I don't
you might be right.
Yeah.
You're probably right. But they probably make money doing this too, and we don't. But
That's it. We're gonna bring
ain't
Joe
doing it for
Rogan in.
money, bro.
We're gonna.
so I jotted down some stuff, John. So I don't know if it's so. Here's something that I always. So you being a sponsor. So what happens? Like I understand that you're trying to move people forward, and I'm sure it happens a million times. Like what happens to those people that come back to you, 24 hours sober, like they fell off or whatnot? Like what is your take on that, and how do you handle that?
My hand's gonna be out the same way as if you had 20 years. We're alcoholics and addicts. That's what we do. I am responsible. I will always be there to help
Wait. You just said you're responsible? Yeah. So you think that a guy relapses your...
No.
Oh.
No, I'm responsible to be there. My sponsor, there's nothing more valuable than time. That's it. Time. There's never again going to be, what day is this? May 22nd, 2022. This is gone. This moment is gone. So there's nothing more valuable than time. And my sponsor took a lot of time with me. This is a way. This is how I pay my debt back to my sponsor.
It makes sense.
And truth be told, what happens if I am one of the guys that relapse and go back out? I want to make sure that you guys are there in those rooms because that's obviously where the solution is. Mm-hmm. I want you to be in that room. If I do screw up, I want someone to be there for when I have to come back.
Yeah.
I owe a debt to the new guy. I can't just come to this program. Okay, my life is grand. I'm moving on now.
Yeah.
And now who's going to be there for the new guy? Mm-hmm. This room showed me hope when I was hopeless.
Yeah.
I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
How selfish of me to get all the things I got back in life and let me just go run away. Thank you, program.
Yeah.
But what about the next generation? What about the next guy that needs, is waiting for that hug at that door?
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like we're responsible for that.
Absolutely.
And again, like it says in the book, this is my way of paying back, which is a very small payment back. Let me tell you, because I can never pay back what this program has given to me.
Yeah.
But at least I could do is be there and help the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Like I said, it's you've got to be a humble person to think that way. Honestly, so I get it. Like. I know we're so far into the book, like page 20 something or something. But I know, it's all about giving back at the end, which is key. And it's obviously like even just like I said, me and Joey doing this on the weekends, like it has nothing to. I don't know even care if there's one person listening, but it helps us. We're helping each other by doing this. You know what I mean? So it's like. It's another thing is sobriety, and then I think I told you once before, like even during the week, like I sat, well, I know who's listening again while I was at work. I was writing some stuff down. I probably should have been working, but like I was thinking of
probably should have been actually earning my paycheck.
But I was like I knew you were coming today, so I was like, all right, you know what? Let me jot down some stuff. So even like during the week, I'm doing things towards that. You're
thinking recovery
subconsciously. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a good thing. It's not thinking of anything else. Like, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to hit the liquor store after this. Like, that doesn't come into my head. Not now anyway. I mean, again, like you said, John, you could even, which I would never see, but you could even relapse, and you would need someone there for you. But I'm sure those thoughts happen to people. They've happened in the past. Whatever it was, 100 and whatever days. But slightly. And as time goes on, it gets less and less. Because you're putting as far as I see, you're putting yourself into better things all the time. So that thought's less and less. And you realize that. Obviously, I don't have to tell you to. But, things are better every day. So it's like, you don't think of those things as much. As far as I'm concerned, like you're thinking of better things. Like, I'm going to see family today. Like, my family never even wanted me at their fucking house, and now all of a sudden it's like, hey, why don't you come out?
Yeah.
Like, holy crap.
Well, it's funny too. You bring up thoughts because I'll bring this up. I spoke to a couple people in my support group about it. Like, thoughts, I think will always be there, but I think if you're doing the right thing, you don't act on those thoughts. You identify with them. Like Friday was a gorgeous day out, working in a house. The sun was out. I was sweating my ass off, and you know what popped into my head? A fucking ice cold beer would be so good right now. and I'm being honest. And I called somebody up right after that, and he goes, "Well, you're normal, bro. You're gonna have thoughts like that, but you called me, and you spoke about it, and you didn't fucking let it, resonate."
Gave it a voice.
I gave it a voice, and then I was like, you know what I'll do? I'll treat myself to a nice ice fruit smoothie or some shit like that. And I was happy, bro. And it's just like, I mean, little battles like that, especially where I'm at, you get through them. It's not, you don't keep it in the dark. Like, what do they say? If you keep it in the how does it go? You know it. What comes in the dark dies in the light. Some shit like that, right? But yeah, it didn't eat me up. I spoke on it right away, and it's like a little.
Our minds are screwed up.
Oh yeah.
We have something's wrong with our thinking. Yeah. This is why something's wrong with our thinking. Yeah. That's what I choose to believe.
And do you see where you're at today? Do you still have thoughts about shit like that or no?
Honestly, no.
No.
I don't have thoughts like that. But I do have crazy. Forget the drink. I mean, it's beyond the drink and the drug.
Yeah.
My thinking is screwed up still to this day.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, that's that whole pause, pray, proceed.
Yes.
I don't have to act on my
tape.
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to act your way into thinking. You can't think your way into acting.
Yeah.
You know, and it's that. But like you were saying, I always want to dodge back, dude. The big book says it very clearly. Recovery begins when one alcoholic is talking with another alcoholic, sharing his experience, strength, and hope.
Yeah.
That's when recovery begins. So every Sunday or whenever you guys get, we're recovering.
Yeah.
This is it. What are you doing today for your recovery? We can't rest on our laurels, it says.
No.
Oh, if I get
That's why we
another
all have
text
24
like
hours.
that. Well, what did you do
What
today?
did you do today for your recovery?
Don't drink, go to meetings. Don't drink, go to meetings.
When you get tired of that, go to meetings and don't drink.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
My man.
Yeah, I mean, so what else did I want to ask you? All right, so I'm gonna. How about this? This 90 and 90 thing.
Here we go.
What about you're a fan of that, correct?
Of course.
All right. Well, that's not in the book.
Is
it?
What are you trying to do?
I'm asking a question.
Yeah.
I'm
Nope,
asking a question.
not in the book.
But what? So what makes you tell me? You tell me about that. I'm not putting you in
About
a
the
spot.
99. Oh,
Like,
geez.
what makes
I know
you-
the history of everything.
I understand. No.
Well, for me, I'll tell you right now, with the 90, well, when this book was first being written, this was just a theory. It says it in the book. It was a this is how we've done it. We don't, we're kind of working this out. This is back in the 30s for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know, we said we had 48 states back then. We didn't have, this is how long ago we're talking.
Right.
But they talk about the progression of the disease. They talk about, I just had a brain fart. Give me a sec. They didn't have meetings like they do today. Mm-hmm. The meetings were, there was one in Cleveland, one in, New York. These guys were all over the place.
AA started in Ohio, right?
Akron.
Akron, Ohio. Yep,
so...
Read your
book. I don't read your
My fellowship didn't start in Akron, Ohio, guys.
Yeah, Jimmy got kicked out of a meeting and they were like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna start my own shit."
He said, "Fuck yeah, I'm starting my own shit."
Fuck these guys. Sorry.
I completely went blank, bro. But hey, that's the alcoholic in me. My brain goes, "Ooh, squirrel." I don't know where they get. I really don't know where they get the whole 90.
I get why they want you to do the 90 and 90.
What my question to you really wasn't. I don't need not the history of it, but why is it important? Why do you think that's important?
That's when you're building your foundation. For me, that was where I was building my foundation.
Okay,
that's where I was learning about what to do, learning etiquette in a meeting. That's, you don't just walk. I don't know. It's very, there are certain things you say in a meeting. There are certain things you just say to you. That's why you have a sponsor to talk to your sponsor about. Some people you can tell don't have a sponsor. They're over there ranting like that. And again, whatever. Everyone's recovery is different. There's no right way to do this recovery thing. But there are certain things that are just meant for me and my sponsor. It built the foundation. It made me accountable. I had a home group. So now if I'm not in my home group for a week, people are going to start calling me like, "Yo, bro, where you at? What are you doing?"
Absolutely.
I got a commitment in that home group. So now it really forces me to be at that meeting.
Yeah.
I have a support network. I found my sponsor. It started to change my life. Instead of me driving to the bar every day, I was driving to a meeting every day. It just kind of I don't know, it changed my routine,
Absolutely.
And then when I finished my 90, my sponsor told me I'm doing another one. Yeah. You drank every day, go to a meeting every day.
Yeah.
There's just no excuse. For me, listen, I went to 5 meetings yesterday. Do I need 5? I don't know. My grand sponsor was telling me, "Bro, I go to meetings so I don't need a meeting." That's just... They're my friends now. I don't have...
That's what it...
Right.
The program didn't give me my life back. Because trust me, I didn't want that life back. Yeah. It gave me a new life.
Yeah.
It gave me new friends. It gave me friends. Let's just call a spade a spade. It gave me friends.
Real friends.
People that are calling, "Yo, how are you doing, Joe? How you good, bro?
Yeah.
You want to tell me something? Talk to me."
Yeah.
No judging. I'm not going to... it gave me friends, bro. It gave me people that are that care about you, bro.
Absolutely.
Other than copping them a bag of paint at bar bill.
I gotta say too, I realized from my last relapse, because I really started diving in, because I always for years I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and
you got hit with the bus.
Yo, this last time I got the commitment, I got the sponsor, I dived in, and unfortunately I did relapse, but I saw the program working when I was at my bottom, and right in this room, the knock at that door, and I had 5 guys from my home group. Or 5 guys from my support group outside, like
saying, "Let's
you
go.
need help. Let's go.
Let's go."
You know what I mean? And dude,
you weren't paying them.
No,
you weren't.
No,
they weren't. No. You know, they didn't want your car.
Yep.
They didn't. There was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
And
your wallet still had money in it when you left here.
Yeah. And I got, I went back to detox rehab, got out, and they were all there. They took me right to a meeting, and then I gotta say, last Wednesday, my buddy Mikey just celebrated his 2 years.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me right in advance, right? I'm sitting in the meeting. All of a sudden, the chairperson goes, and we're going to have Joey do key tags. And I was like, oh, no.
We're not going to have Joey do that.
But honestly, I got to say, I was happy they told me last minute because I didn't fucking overthink and harp on it, right? Because I got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Dude, I got to hand my boy Anthony his 6-month key tag. And hug him, and I got to hand Mikey his 2-year.
Awesome.
And it was a fucking feeling, bro. Like it lifted me. It really lifted me, man.
Yeah, man. We do recover.
We do.
We do
absolutely
recover.
do, man. And I'm I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm so grateful you asked me to do that. Because it got me out. Like I was on a natural high, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing. It
Oh,
really
man.
was. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was a great feeling.
That's awesome. I love
and
that stuff.
I never did key tags before.
You want a white one?
I was like, day one, they want to hug, and dude, half the room got on. It was awesome, man. It was.
I would have went up and got a hug from you, Joe. That's my dude.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. When you really start putting the work in, and you really start, like I said a little bit earlier, sticking with people who are living this day to day and actually putting recovery time in, hitting meetings, you can feel it. You know, you can really feel it.
Of course.
Yeah, damn right, man. And to watch it, when you start to get a little bit of time, and you see the new guy coming in, and then you can see you could see the growth of it. That's what's so great about when you sponsor people.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to point out names, but there are guys I sponsored that came in and they were just. And it's not me. I didn't do nothing. That's God.
Yeah.
But to be able to be part, like to be blessed, to ask them to be like, hey, can you? And then you take them and you go watch their growth.
Yeah.
Man,
it's fucking beautiful.
When you see the kids coming back in their life, when you see the girl come back in their life, when you see them get their job back, when they're getting their license back, when you get to witness that firsthand.
It's incredible.
There's nothing better than that feeling, bro. Like, dude, good for you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, God is good.
Absolutely.
God gets the glory, but we reap the rewards, brother. Yeah.
True. Very true.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's actually very interesting. So that's cool, Joe, that you... That's awesome.
It's awesome stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely getting me... Oh, I'm a Serenity Keeper at the NA convention
Booyah!
coming up.
My man. Look at you.
Got,
you're not loitering anymore.
Nah,
and you have a relapse. That's weird. That's weird.
I used to sit in the back every last row.
Denial row in the back. Yeah. There it is.
You know, it's...
we're just here for the coffee
dude,
and cookies.
honestly, bro, sometimes I'll be driving and I'm just like, I can't, like, who am I? You know, like, I can't believe, like, I'm grateful.
Oh, man.
Just grateful. That fucking obsession's been lifted. You know, I'm genuinely happy these days. It's crazy.
Don't make me cry. I love
I'm
this
still
dude.
learning how to, I still suffer with the low self-worth, low self-esteem, all that good stuff.
Well,
but
that's
It's a lifetime of recovery, bro.
yeah,
That's
why
all right.
we have
but
another day to keep growing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Joe, done.
That's
Lock it up, put a bow on it. That was it, bro. Done. Just whatever Joey just said, mic drop, done. Wrap it up.
Oh, man.
That was awesome. That's what we get to do, man. We're not out there in the hell.
Insanity, bro.
Yeah, we
just fucking straight misery, insanity. Yesterday, I was helping my parents plant. I was helping my father with the pool, and right in this room, I remember days it would be beautiful like this, bro, and I'd be towels over the window, isolated, just sick, bro.
Yeah, doing the Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, the Sammy Sosa. Yeah, bro, just fucking.
Oh, you need a video because people need to see that. The Sammy Sosa.
No, that's bad. That's a bad look. That one.
That's gotta be.
Bro, it just keeps reminding me where I was at, and I think it's very important not to forget where you were at.
Never.
Because then I feel like you start taking what you have for granted.
Yeah. Say if you don't remember your last drink, maybe because you haven't had it yet.
You know, I mean,
Never forget
dude.
your
I
last
wanted,
outing.
I wanted to end it, bro. That's where I was at. I wanted to end it because I can't keep going. I've been trying to get clean and sober now for 8 years. You know, but I'm definitely doing things differently this time. I'm balls to the wall.
That's
recovery.
2 feet in.
That's it.
Not one of those half measures avail us nothing.
No, fully in.
Good for you.
All everybody in my circle, like all day long, it's recovery.
Oh man.
You know, and I stick with people. Like I went to 2-3 weeks ago. I went to a dinner out in Riverhead.
Show me pictures.
Guy was celebrating 15 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sitting next to people with 30 years, 35 years. Their son was there with 7 years. Like I'm like, look at this, bro.
Yeah, no,
Like, these are the circles I'm in.
And look, you got to go out and there's no difference. It's just they say you give up one thing for everything, or you have to give up everything for one thing. You know, like you're still doing the same thing. You're going out, you're having a good time, you're having like a legitimate laugh.
I don't know why we fantasize on that shit, bro. Because as soon as we do put a drink or a drug, I'm still miserable. I'm like, well, now I relapse.
It's
so
like
just
hitting the
fuck it,
pause
and I
button.
throw it all
That's
away.
We're big babies. We don't like to feel. We
Yeah.
seek ease and comfort. It says, you know.
Honestly,
So, and that's what it is. We try to.
People
hide
used
from
to ask
that.
me, "What's your drug of choice?" I said, "Whatever fucking numbs myself."
Yeah,
bro.
I'm garbage man.
Yeah, I really am, bro. Whatever you got, whatever I can fucking numb my feelings, because I don't like the way I feel.
Right.
You know, that's the truth for me.
Joe out there crushing up dog shit. You know, he's like, I got this. I'm good.
You guys know this gets me high.
Bro,
I'll
I say
try
it.
it.
I don't know if I said it on this podcast yet. Kratom, bro. Anybody
Oh.
out there thinking of Kratom? It's a relapse. 100% it's a
Oh,
relapse.
absolutely.
Dude, I was pawning shit for Kratom.
Kratom.
Kratom. And it's legal. Go to any gas station and get it. I had a fucking $100 a day habit on it because I didn't want to go back to dope.
Yeah.
So I was buying Kratom.
You justified it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not doing
we
that.
could
but I'm doing
justify
this.
anything.
And my life was just as miserable,
we
bro.
could justify anything.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
noticed that in my life. Like you just change one thing for another.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, it might not even be a drug.
Dude, 5, 6
But you
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
You know,
5, 6 years ago.
I drink these monsters.
I was
like
a heroin
everyone else.
addict.
You're
bro.
trying to fill a
Yeah.
void, bro. That
Exactly.
void needs to be filled
Weird.
with
Yeah.
your higher power.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You can't.
Anything to get us out of ourselves. I went from heroin to became a raging cokehead. Like, it doesn't matter.
That's not a bad transition. Though.
Nah, it's not. Look at the fucking doors. Look at the walls over there.
I'm kidding.
God,
It's bad, bro.
the sheets hung up over the window.
But I will say, for you AA fellas, I always do identify with Alcoholics Anonymous, and I respect Alcoholics Anonymous because for me, it does start with a drink.
Well,
It
and that
does
was
start with a drink because one day I got everything back, and I'm like, I could have a beer.
Bro,
Right?
it's up here.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
up
yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's why people always. There's always like I'm.
But I do love that it says in my basic text, alcohol is a drug.
Yeah, because
Well,
it is.
It is.
It is, and that's why I'm very. I hate. I don't want to hate. I hate to say that word. I hate to say the word
You
hate.
just like.
I'm not a fan of that separation. I'm not a big fan of it. Truth, like listen.
do you mean?
Because we're
The way that NA separates it, or
No. Just in general. You know, I obviously why that.
yeah,
You know,
well,
program
because
started.
alcohol is so socially acceptable.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's like it does seem like the old schoolers. Like I don't know, dude. I can identify. I might not be able to identify with putting something in my arm.
Yeah.
But I can identify with it's a disease of the mind.
Absolutely.
It's a disease of the
Right,
morals.
right,
I identify with your feelings.
Yeah.
And that's what I was told. You never identify with the feelings.
Yeah.
And you can put anyone up. I can go to an NA meeting, a CA meeting, HA meeting, and I can identify with their
Exactly.
feelings. That feeling of not being wanted, of the anxieties, the depressions, that you know, like I was saying earlier, like being in a room with 100 people, but feeling like you were alone, feeling like you were out of place, not knowing what to say, feeling stupid if you were to open up your mouth and say something, that insecurities and having such low self-esteem, and you know, the drink or the drug, whatever your poison is, it took you out of that.
Absolutely.
It took you out
That's
of
why
that.
I feel like we loved it so much.
Yeah, of course. Now we
Have
felt
a
like
few
we were
drinks, I
part
could
of
talk
something.
to fucking any girl. Like,
Yeah.
I had
Oh, yeah, look
that
at
fake
you.
fucking
Dance on the
me
dance
mom
floor.
sloppy
Woo.
as shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You thought you was hot,
Yeah.
bro.
I thought I was the shit, bro. I'm fucking drooling on myself. God, look at this fucking guy, bro.
They're all.
I mean, that point you just made, John, is huge for me because me trying over. Listen, I was a heavy drinker for 25 years, and I didn't even give a fuck about not drinking anymore up until like maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, and trying in and out. But I never identified until this go round, until I went into inpatient, till I met this guy. I identify, like, I was always that guy that was like, well, I'm not this fucking guy.
Yeah, you're a comparer.
Like, it wasn't, not AA. AA is different. When I went to meetings, I'd hear, like you said, I'd hear something from somebody where, wow, that's kind of like my story. Forget the guy that lives in a cardboard box. I was in a cardboard box was my wife was. I never got to that. Everyone's bottom's different, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Get off the elevator and start taking the steps anytime you want, brother.
Exactly. Yeah. But I never identified with non-alcoholics, I should say. And then this time around, I'm like, yo, we're all the fucking same. You're smoking crack, you're drinking vodka, whatever. Who gives a shit?
It doesn't matter.
My sponsor, my first sponsor was a Scotch and pill popper. That was his thing. He had 11 months clean and sober, and he was in a sober house. And one of the guys got kicked out of the sober house. So unfortunately, I didn't meet my first sponsor, but he was awesome. So of course everyone, hey, Billy, you go grab, So he's like, yeah. And also I left a 2-liter bottle of rum and coke in the bushes in the back, Yeah. So he asked my sponsor to go get it. So my sponsor's like, okay, he goes and grabs it, and he'll tell you the story. Well, how he told the story was, bro, he had the guy's bag. He had the 2-liter bottle of rum and coke, and he's like, and as I'm walking, I have 11 months.
Yeah.
As
I'm walking this thing to give it to the guy, the cap came off and the bottle went down. Just that simple. I wasn't spiritually fit. I wasn't spiritually fit, he said. Yeah. He said, next thing you know, I'm smoking crack at the train station. Yeah. I don't even smoke crack. He's like the progression of shit. He's like, I don't smoke crack. He's like, it took me 4 hours. 4 hours before he was back in the hospital. 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours. 11 months.
Say relapses get shorter and shorter, bro. They really do. If you're, I'm grateful to come back to the rooms.
That's 100%.
A lot of people don't make it back to the rooms, bro.
We just had another one.
I know.
Died
Another one.
last week.
Yeah, we talk about it on here. Yeah. My buddy who overdosed, rest in peace, God bless him, is 1 year tomorrow. And it's hard, bro. But
the
identification. I stay clean. It helps me stay clean and sober.
I think it's clear to identify yourself as having an issue, no matter where you're from, what you do. It's weird too. Where we were, again, I'll just bring that up. Dude, half those people, you and I are different because we just hit it off right from the bat. But half those people, we wouldn't be friends with outside of that room.
No.
I'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? I'd let the door slam on him at 7-Eleven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy's coming, fuck him. I'm not holding.
Oh, we have a lot of work to do, Charlie.
Well, he's calling himself.
What I'm saying is,
go on, Charlie. Let it out, bro. Get paper and pen. Write your 4-step right now. Let's go.
I should do some work while I'm doing this, since I didn't do it on fucking Friday.
Step work, bro.
No, my point is, I finally identified, like, yo, he's the same guy as me. So we came from different backgrounds, but we all have something in common. There's one thing in common that we all have, and we all should help each other. And all of a sudden, we were talking to those guys when we weren't really. We kind of isolated in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, it was like, what are you doing? Get over here, let's talk.
Yeah.
And we're playing dominoes and
we learned dominoes.
Stuff, you know what I mean? So it's funny.
All different walks of life.
I realize, like, now I have friends. I actually have friends
that care about you.
I didn't have. I had friends. I have one guy now. I think I brought him up to Joe a couple times. He's in Florida. He's a shit show. I used to go out with him all the time. And again, my thing always started with a drink. I'd do anything,
of course,
but everything's sticking. Oh, you want to do some blow? Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? I've been drinking. Yeah. You know what I mean? So let me level out so I get up for some more drinks. You know what I mean? But he calls me now at all hours of the night, wasted too, by the way, but which is fine because he hasn't found where he's got to be in life. But he's like, I'm proud of you, man. I listen to your pod. And I'm like,
well, you're opening that door for him.
I'm like, dude,
planting seeds.
Do what I'm doing.
Seeds.
Do what I'm doing, dude. Yeah. Trust me, your life will be better. Yeah, I'll get there. Yeah. But you can't kick anyone in the ass, right? So,
well, how many people say you just want to grab the person and shake them?
Yeah.
I hear that all the time, but unfortunately,
it's the hardest
you got to
part
do it for yourself. Everybody's got to do it for themselves.
And a great dude, too. I love the guy, but he's... I certainly can't hang out with him.
No.
You know what I mean? I'll talk to him, but I won't meet up with him, go out, whatever. It's just... and I'm like, I can't. And he knows it too. He wouldn't never ask me. When normally I'd get that call at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday when I got to be at work at 9. Yeah. Where are you? I'll be over in 10 minutes, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like half in the bag, fucking driving.
It's one drinking buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many of those other buddies are calling you today?
None of them.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You left the bar, you left the scene, nobody's calling you.
Nope.
No.
But you miss a couple of meetings and people are at your door banging their door down.
Yeah,
Right.
Where the
Like,
fuck are
do you want a friend? Stick around. Stick around if you want a friend.
It's insane how you realize who are your friends and since the people I meet are different. First of all, this is me.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, that's cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't drink. I don't do this. You know, I
jerk off with a sock.
The same one every time.
Same one every time.
You're sick.
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
No, I'm just, they have smiley faces on them.
Jesus Christ.
No,
He
but
calls them Joey and Johnny.
that's rough.
Yeah,
That's rough.
Sick.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sick. Wrong podcast.
Oh, man. I knew this was going to be a good one.
But it is funny that like you, like now it's like it's crazy that I tell the truth. Is that wrong?
No, bro, it's a fucking blessing. I know.
No, I'm saying like I go home, I go, did I just blurt all that out? Yeah. Fucking, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, and blah blah blah. I'm fixing this, I'm doing that, blah blah blah. And
Honestly.
it's like you like I don't have to worry about the conversation I had with you or you yesterday. Because what I told you was the truth. I don't have to worry about. Oh wait, what I tell John?
Yeah. My sponsor used to say the same thing. That's what my sponsor used to say the same thing. Yeah. When you're honest, you don't have to remember what you said because it was honest.
Yeah,
you're not making up a story. You're not making.
Keep it going.
I told John this, so tomorrow I have to bring up that because I said that.
Like 6 chimpanzees jumped out of a tree. Are you crazy? They popped my tires, so I was late.
I can't believe that happened, bro. It's nuts.
You wouldn't believe it. But Two Eskimos stopped me on the side of the road.
It just feels so good not to be a bullshit artist. And listen, I sold cars for a living. You can't be more of a bullshit artist.
Oh, yeah, we can't be friends anymore, bro.
I don't do it anymore.
And you recovered from car sales.
Exactly.
That's a whole other anonymous.
That's another
But yeah, man, it's
other CA, yes.
CA. But yeah, I now that I surround myself with people that, you know, you just talk about regular day-to-day, it's just weird. It still boggles my mind. I love it, don't get me wrong. It just boggles my mind, like, wow, that's fucking crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even conversations with my kids, like, you know, I have a 12-year-old daughter, so she was used to me not being around for stuff. Like, she'd have dance recitals for 5 hours. Well, this was me, 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Well, when's your first number? Oh, 10 o'clock. All right, cool. I'll be there for that.
I'll be back.
And then I go there for that, and Daddy's got to go. I got stuff to. When's your next number? Oh, 1 o'clock. Oh,
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock.
If you make it back to that.
I normally didn't. Now when I go, she's like, Dad, I know you got to go. So I'm like, I don't got nowhere to go, honey.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden she's like, oh, you staying? Yeah, of course I'm staying.
Blessing, bro.
So it's like, you see it, like the progression of things. Like, and again, my daughter never abandoned me. Like, you know, like, hey, screw you, Dad, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah. But she now is like, oh, you coming Sunday? Yeah. And she expects me to be here all day, which I'm going to be. I cleared my schedule to be where I did. Like,
We're
it's
able
just
to do shit like that these days, man.
But I would be like, leave my daughter at 10 o'clock on a Sunday, pull a bottle out from underneath my car.
Oh, I wouldn't go anywhere unless I had a drink or a drug.
lots.
I would not go anywhere unless I had a drink or a drug.
Listen, next time, maybe you let me come back on this thing.
Of course.
And I'll have to do
Always,
I'll share my
What'd you think?
experience.
One podcast is enough
One
for
and
you?
done. I'm cured. One and done. But what I was gonna say is, if the truth, I could tell you, that's how we stay sober and clean. We, one alcohol, like I was saying earlier, the recovery begins when one alcoholic talks to another alcoholic.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say?
Recovery
But if you really want to know if the programs work, whether it's NA, whether it's whatever program you're in, if you want to know if it works, go to their loved ones.
Yeah.
I could bring my wife in here. I could bring my children here, and they will tell you that daddy's back, or we have a daddy, or my wife will tell you she has her partner back. That's how you know. Don't I could I could sell ice with Eskimo, bro. I could manipulate anything. You know, I could tell you all the stories you want to hear.
Absolutely.
But if you want to know if we recover,
absolutely.
Because the people who suffer the most from our disease are the people who don't have our disease. Yeah. So you bring my wife in here, and she will tell you the man who now is sitting in this chair. It's funny. My wife told me last night, man. You know, I've never been more proud of you. Mm-hmm. I've never been more proud of you.
Yeah. When was the last time she told you that? Well, I'm sure recently. But.
Yeah, but that's.
There was a quote from my mom once that said, I forget exactly how they asked her, but she says,
Joey, don't touch that.
Shut up. No, she said, how did it go again? She said, what's one of the biggest struggles in your life? And it was a mom with her son, and she said heroin, and I've never even done it.
Yeah, see?
And I was like, damn.
Powerful.
You know, and it brings me to, like, my mom, bro. Like, my mom says all the time these days, I got my son back.
My man.
My mom stopped saying, I'm having dreams of your being at your funeral. She used to tell me that all the time. Right. And I've seen the years I've taken off my mother, bro. The stress that I've caused in her life. And I don't want to do that no more. You know?
Make that living amends, my brother.
That's what I do every day.
All she wants.
I do it for me.
Yeah.
But the reward of me doing it for me is also doing it for
you
my
reap those rewards.
Yeah.
You get to see all that stuff.
I'm getting my sister, one of them, we still don't talk, but, like, my other sister, since we talked, like, we're recovering loudly, right?
Yeah. Very loudly.
Seeing how much work I'm putting in and seeing a change in me. And me and her talk, like, on a whole other level that we haven't spoke since we were kids.
Nice.
You know?
But you can't make anyone do it. You just keep doing what you're doing.
I just focus on me.
Your other sister will
do the next. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm here, right? She's not flipping out that I'm here.
Right. Right.
But I just keep doing the right thing.
I mean,
and I tell other people that if you just keep doing the right thing, everything else falls in place the way it's supposed to.
That's what they say about it. You gotta give time, and space, and let God find the place.
Yes.
Just like that, brother.
Boy, I wish I had that button.
He's hitting us, God shots. Yeah, that's why I'm so excited to have you on. I'm like, bro, he's gonna bring the wisdom.
John, being the longest,
knowledge is only half of it. If you don't apply the knowledge,
oh yeah, 100%.
So being the longest in sobriety at the table right now. I'm asking experience because what Joe just said makes a good point. I mean, there are going to be people that don't come around, right? I mean,
when my sponsor died, he had very little communication with his daughters. He didn't talk to his daughters for almost 10 years. But they started to come back into his life.
Right.
You know, we do a lot of damage.
Right.
You know.
But you can't use that as a trigger to go back. I mean, it is what it is. Some people just won't come around.
You have to stop the bleeding. You have to stop the bleeding.
Right.
So when are you ready to start working on yourself and everything? Like I was just saying, man, it's as long as you're doing the next right thing. As long as you're doing the next right thing, you can't work. Listen, we live in today. We don't live in tomorrow. See, my whole life I lived in tomorrow. The problem is tomorrow never came. You know, we have to live it for today. As long as, like Joey was saying, as long as you keep doing the next right thing, God has a plan. And my sponsors always tell me, man, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. You know, just you know, not every relationship is going to be mended depending on how much damage. But as long as you clean your side of the street, as long as you know that you're doing the right thing, you know,
you'll be able to
accept
and grow.
Yeah,
I've been making a statement since. Here's a perfect example of something. A lot of people always go, "Oh, can't wait for the weekend." Right?
Yeah.
Can't wait for the weekend.
Yeah.
And I posted something the other day. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm like, stop wishing your week away, man. Good things happen on a Monday too.
Damn right they do.
Right? So you just don't. I used to be that guy, but then you're gonna turn around one day and be like, where the fuck did all this time go? You know what I mean?
Right. You're gonna wake up, you're gonna be 70. You're like, that was me.
Yeah.
I was rushing towards my tombstone.
Yeah.
I was just running through life. Blah, 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 and I was missing. Life was flying by me. Pow, 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 pow. And now, you know, I hear you in the room. It's like, dude, just walk a little slower.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Good luck. The very fact that we're alive, bro. Like, this is
like
beautiful,
simplest
man.
things. The other day I was reading my basic text. I was at the beach. I hear the waves. I hear the fucking birds chirp. I'm like, yo, I feel alive.
Oh, man.
I'm living.
Yes, you are.
Know? And it's a blessing for addicts and alcoholics, you know, because I'm so used to just numbing myself. I just numb feelings. That's what I would do because I didn't like dealing with life on life's terms, and I didn't like how the way I felt. So I would just numb myself, you know. And there's no excuse to pick up. There's just not. You can get through anything, you know. And life's challenging, bro. Life doesn't stop just because we get clean and sober.
No,
it still goes. You know, the world doesn't fucking come to a halt because we decided to fucking get...
We decided to change.
Yeah, because we decided to change. I'm here now.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready to be part of this world.
I'm not gonna lie. Dude, the first time I went to rehab, it was like I came home this bad and he's cured.
He's cured.
Not knowing that I had another 5 rehabs after that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but...
like my cousin Vinny. Yeah. Nope, for me, 6 times was a charge.
Oh, yeah. Nope, not for me. 6. 6 times was a charge. Oh, that's my favorite.
How long have you been practicing? Yeah. About 6 weeks.
Oh, I love that fucking movie, yeah. 2 Utes. 2 what? 2 Utes. Utes.
Yeah, bad things are still going to happen. You just cope with it better when you're sober, that's all.
You learn how to cope with shit when you're, you know, sober.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, you don't got a choice.
You have to.
But you learn how to...
You
talk to other people who've been through situations you're dealing with. That's what a support group is.
100%.
You know? And I got guys in my support group at some time now, and, you know, I run shit by them all the time. You know?
So, anyway, we're going to wrap up a little bit. John, thank you so much. Insightful once again. Yeah, we're definitely going to have you back.
Yeah,
again, I
got to go to video. So.
Man is powerful. So
yeah.
I appreciate everything you do for me, especially, and for everybody else as well.
For me too, man. You're a big part of my
great guy,
recovery.
A really good guy.
Yeah.
It's sad
because
we could have been great drinking buddies.
Shut up! And that shit like that.
Yes. I'm gonna definitely let you pay for my tab.
No, you guys would have probably been beating the fuck out of me.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, John would have kicked my ass a few times because I had a big mouth and I'm not that big.
Yeah, you still do when you're sober. So.
Yeah, mouth's still the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's change the brain.
That's it, bro.
All right. If you have any questions, concerns, Charlie and Joey share at gmail.com. You can send an email. Anything with John, especially if you have any questions for John, you could email us there. We'll let him know, and we'll have John back.
Definitely. Thank you for coming on.
Anything you want to close with, John? Anything you want to close with, my friend?
Yeah, don't drink and go to meetings.
That's it. I knew it was fun, baby. All right, everybody, have a great day.
Have a good one. Take care, everyone.